Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everybody doing out there this evening? As y'all know, if y'all have seen the event that we posted, we got Mr. Paul Francis in here, and it is fishing tournament time. We got the white bass tournament coming up soon. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everybody doing out there this evening? As y'all know. Hell, there went that. Luckily, we're live, and we cannot change that. So, Mr. Paul, how are you today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Good. So, it's that time of year again.
It is that time of year again. Last year we got rained out. It was April 5th. We had the big storm. This year we've planned on March 21st.
That's right. The early one did get stormed out.
We had to do it. So we didn't catch as many fish as we wanted last year. This year I have a goal. I'd love to get 100 teams, and they can be 2 or 3 people to the boat. And if all 100 teams catch 10 fish, we'll take 1,000 whitefish out of the lake in a day. That's a big goal. That's what we're looking for. Last year we had 54 teams. They caught about 450 fish. The winner had 84 pounds, which was a lot of fish.
That is a pile of fish.
He took home $1,000. The largest white was $500. The largest hybrid was $500. And we really didn't think we'd catch any hybrids because they stopped stocking them.
There's not many left.
2014. Last year we caught 3.
Really?
So this year may not catch any at all. But,
so did the same guy win the most weight and the big white last year? Or was
no. It was there were different guys.
Okay.
We are we're going out of Devil's Fork this year. Last year was Hill Creek. So Devil's Fork is a little more centrally located, a little easier to get to. You line in the water at 6 o'clock, line out of the water at 2 p.m. We have Big Sarge, who's of radio fame, I guess, who's going to be our MC. What we do with these fish that we catch, if we catch 1,000 whitefish, a group from the other side, which is a drug and alcohol ministry, is going to clean all these fish. They get to keep whatever they want. Once their refrigerator is full, we give the rest to the Arkansas Hunger Relief Alliance, to the Greers Ferry food pantry, and to the Fairfield Bay food pantry. So everybody wins in this one.
Absolutely.
We take the white bass out of the lake. Everybody wins a door prize. So a bunch of people are fed. We help the drug and alcohol ministry. The limit for white bass in this lake is 25 in the state of Arkansas is 25 per person per day. On Greers Ferry Lake, it's unlimited.
That's okay.
Because there's so many of them. A female white bass will lay 1 million eggs. Of that 1 million eggs, only 1% will get fertilized. That 1% is 10,000 fish. It's a lot of fish.
It's a lot.
So if we get lucky and we catch the fish right before the spawn, if we can take a female white bass out of the lake, we can reduce the future population, significantly.
And as a fisherman, for the folks out there that don't really understand why that's important, those things are eating machines. And the lake, just for whatever reason, it cannot sustain it. And we've seen it over the years where they eat all the food and everything else suffers. And as somebody that fishes tournaments, it's pretty cool. I fished my first tournament Saturday for the first time in almost a year now. But just a couple of years ago, if you were tournament fishing, if you had 10 pounds, you were feeling pretty good in a bass tournament. Well, now if you don't have at least 12 in the box, you probably ought to just pack up and go to the house because it's probably not. And it's even better than that. I'm being very conservative with the 12. So the white bass tournaments, I have to assume, are helping this cause because our fish population is on the up.
A 2-pound white bass will eat 7.5 times its weight in shad every year. So a 2-pound white bass eats 15 pounds of shad. That's a lot of fish.
That is a pile.
And I love catching the white bass because I call it a 2-pound fish with an 8-pound find.
Right.
They're fun to catch.
They are.
The hybrids were even more fun to catch, but they were bigger eating machines.
Mm-hmm.
3 years ago, I caught probably 10 in Hurricane Bay that all weighed over 15 pounds.
I believe it.
So they're gone now, hopefully. Most of them are gone.
Yeah, there's very few, if any, left.
And I've heard recently that the winners of the bass tournaments are bringing in 20-pound bags.
Well, the one we fished Saturday, it took 16 something to win it, and that's what I say. I mean, I'm being 12 is
Sure.
still really light, but yeah, I mean, it's really getting to the point that it's
I live on Hurricane Bay, and I walked down to my dock, and I caught 7 off my dock, 7 bass. There was another guy out there who caught another 7 or 8. And then last Sunday, I had a guy out there, and he said, "How many did you catch?" He said, 15. So the bass population is getting better.
better and healthier.
The walleye population is getting better too. We just recently learned that the walleye love the temperature between 50 and 55 degrees. So if you can find that temperature and you can stay in that temperature in that depth range, you might be able to catch some walleye.
That is something. If I catch a walleye, it is completely by accident. I do not know how to go look for them.
Well, I tell people that fishing to me is a 4-letter word. It's bass. I love to bass fish. I went fishing with a walleye guide, and it took us almost 30 minutes to set up the boat. And I thought, that's 30 minutes of fishing time. I just missed. But we are a walleye club, and the reason for the walleye club is to promote walleye fishing on Greers Ferry Lake. And we're trying to make the lake better. If we make the lake better for walleye, then we also make the lake better for the bass and the crappie and the bluegill and the brim and all those other fish too.
Right.
So we just recently received a grant from Friends of Reservoirs for $2,000. I called the Corps of Engineers, and the ranger over there said, to his knowledge, that is the first time in the history of this lake, since 1960, that they've received any outside money for habitat restoration on this lake.
Really?
So 65 years, the people that have done it have been the Corps of Engineers and the Game and Fish Commission and the Greers Ferry Walleye Club. We built 150 structures last October. The Game and Fish Commission brought down materials for what they call Georgia cubes. And the Georgia cube had big 6-inch drain pipes on it. And the structure was 4 feet by 4 feet by 8 feet for the large ones, and 4 feet by 4 feet by 4 feet for the small ones. And then the club built what we call spider blocks. We had a 6-inch by 6-inch cement block that we put about 12 or 15 PVC pipes in, not PVC, but drip tube pipes in it. And they put them in the lake for us, and then they gave us the locations that they put them in. And primarily they were in Frontier Canyon on the east side of the bridge going to Prim.
Okay.
So on our website, we have a list of all the locations that the Game and Fish Commission and that we have put in structures. One year we used sea-doo crates to build the structures.
Right.
And cedar. We put so much cedar in these sea-doo crates that if you go in Hill Creek and you look on top of the mountain, there's one of those structures on top of the mountain. It floated.
Really?
So next year we didn't put as many cedar planks in there. So we learn every time we do this and trying to make it a better lake. But it's, I tell people that because a life of a reservoir is 25 to 30 years. After 25 to 30 years, everything in it is dissolved or is in dissolving. And to kind of prove the point, the world record walleye was caught on this lake in 1984. It was 22 years after the lake was built. So there's a lot of big fish in this lake because there was a lot of habitat. Mm-hmm. My analogy is, I'm going to tell you, I want you to go live in this neighborhood. There are no buildings, there are no roads, there are no lights, there's no electricity, there's no water. In fact, it's so desolate, there's not even a Dollar General there.
You know it's
and
not
I want you to live there, and I want you to be successful. Well, the people that live there won't stay for long, and they probably won't be very successful. So that's basically, it's been the structure of the lake for the last 20 years or so. We are trying to put that structure back in the lake with the Game and Fish Commission, with the Corps of Engineers, with anybody who will help us do that. You can put a bunch of cedar trees in there, and they last 2 years. So these blocks that we're putting in there, the piping that we're using is non-biodegradable. And after about a year, it's going to be covered with moss and silt. The little bitty fish are going to come stay in that moss and silt. They're going to eat it. The big fish are going to come eat the little fish, and we're going to make a better lake.
Right.
But we've got a 40,000 acre lake. We put 150 structures in there. It's not going to make a lot of difference.
That's not a big dent.
Our hope with the grant that we just received, and I talked to the Corps of Engineers, and they said they would buy the brick and the cement. So now, if they buy the brick and the cement, and we buy the drip tube, I can probably get 10 or 15,000 or more feet of the drip tube, and we put it in 42-inch lengths. And we can put a lot of structures back in the lake. By the grant, we were required to go into the Five Fingers area. And the reason we're doing the Five Fingers is because the last president lived there. So,
well, I tell you, the for the folks out there, that is a spot out there, and it's always been a spot that, you know, everybody talks about. This is my spot. That's your spot. You know, people talk about spots that they fish. Well, sadly, the folks that have fished here very long, it's a community lake.
Right.
There's very few secret hidey holes, sadly. But Five Fingers has always just been one of those places for whatever reason. It's always been a place to go catch some fish.
Yeah.
So
we're going to try to make that spot a little better. And we've identified others. The Game and Fish Commission tells us where they want to put them. They're the experts on the lake. We also have partnered with a professor named Steve Lockman at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. He's a fisheries management expert. In fact, he's on the Game and Fish Foundation's board, Man of the Year, I think is what they called him. So he's really into helping the fisheries in the state of Arkansas get better. So I was pointed in his direction. He's been very helpful. In fact, this year, he's hoping to bring some of his graduate students up here to help, to show them what we're doing and how to do it. And so that they can learn from what we're doing, we can learn from their expertise. So we do education, sharing, and partnership. Those are our three pillars. Education, we're going to try to teach you how to fish. We have walleye guides and crappie guides and bass guides. Last month we had Mr. Black Bass of Arkansas from the Game and Fish Commission come and talk to us about their program. Walleye guides are, Brad Skelton is a typical walleye guide. We have the crappie guides, Jerry McCready comes and talks to us a lot. Next month in March, we're having a character by the name of Sam Lester come talk to us. Sam has had a guide license on this lake for 63 years.
Oh, wow.
He is, for the last 4 or 5 or 10, has been a trout guide out of Lindsay's. Well, Lindsay shut down. And Sam is quite the character. He said, I'll tell him everything I know, and everything after that's going to be a lie. So he must be a really good fisherman. So he's going to be quite the character. I think we're going to enjoy them. And then in April, we're going to have what I call the Three Horsemen. We have 3 local fishermen who fish for nothing but crappie. And they all fish differently. So we put them all up on the stage, and they all tell us how they fish and what they use, so we can learn that you don't have to fish a particular way to catch crappie.
Right.
And so in May, we're having a Garmin rep come. He's going to teach us how to use live scope.
Oh boy,
come on down for that one.
That's liable to start the new World War.
Yeah. I have a video from Jerry McCready that shows you can see a tree in it, and you can see a fish on the top of the tree, and you can see him throw his lure, and the lure goes down and goes right past the fish. He doesn't even look at it. You can see a second lure go down right past the fish, and then you can see the fish head towards his boat, so he throws a third lure down that's closer, and in the bottom left-hand corner, you see this glob move into the screen, and it's white bass, and there's probably 250, 300 white bass in this glob. And you can see his bait go down, and the fish take it, and all the rest of them follow it up to the surface. So there are white bass in this lake. When they spawn, the males go up the creeks and stage. When the females are ready, the females go over them a certain distance, and they'll start laying the eggs, and then the males fertilize them. Once the females have laid their eggs, they leave, and the males will stay there and guard the fry a little bit longer.
So in the white bass population, they don't have any courtship at all. They just
no. It's they're sitting there ready. Again, a female white bass will lay 1 million eggs.
Right.
So there's a lot for them to fertilize.
Heck yeah.
And there's a lot of males out there too. If you catch a female white bass, it can be, the world record is 5 pounds for white bass. It can be over 3. The typical white bass is in the 2 pound range. Again, they're really, really fun to catch.
They are.
So
They are. And if you get in a wad of them, I mean, it happens really, really quick. And
can last for a long time.
it can take 2 grown men and make little schoolgirls out of them in a hurry.
Yeah.
With the laughing and the...
I had a friend in Hot Springs who used to fish on Lake Hamilton. He took out 6 rods, and he'd throw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he'd go back and start catching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he'd get his limit in an hour and a half.
Well, the last time we got in them really good, it's been a year and a half, 2 years ago, but we finally just got bored catching them on bass rods.
Yeah.
So we started getting ultralights with light line and like...
They're even more fun to catch then.
Yeah. Just
our white bass tournament is $75 per team. You can have 3 people in a team. Professional guides are welcome because our purpose is to take the white bass out of the lake. I don't care who catches them.
Right.
I just want to take them out of the lake. The more the merrier. And again, we have them cleaned and they get donated. So it's... it can be a fun day if we get the timing right. Mm-hmm. Weather's right. You know, there's a lot of factors.
When it comes to springtime and weather,
in Greers Ferry,
it's it's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
But this year, the tournament leaves out of Greers, out of Devil's Fork. You do not have to launch from there, but you need to come by there so we can check your live well.
That was going to be one of my questions because the last tournament y'all done wasn't because y'all done 2 last year, right? Y'all done one in the spring and one in the fall.
No, we just did the one.
The one in the spring got pushed all the way to the fall.
Yeah.
Okay. And y'all had done that where you checked in at one location.
That's right.
But you could launch anywhere.
I'm not saying that anybody cheats, but there's just a possibility for it. And we're trying to eliminate that. Make the playing field as fair as possible.
Right.
We do have, if you're a winner, there is a possibility that you may have to do a lie detector test. So again, we're trying to make it as fair as possible for everybody. I have one lady who I met at a local gas station who said she's got a 13-year-old son who loves to go fishing, but they don't have a boat. So I'm looking for a volunteer to take a 13-year-old out with them and let him have lots of fun. I took my daughter out one day in the white bass, and she caught one in a hand. I caught one, I handed her the pole, and she said, "Fish, you think you can escape kiddo and her muscles?" But it was a 2-pound white bass, and it took this 8-year-old a little while to get it in. And so that's how you hook a child.
Exactly. Well, is it you would know more? Is there a lot of folks that sign up for the tournament and show up to the tournament that are 2 people?
Oh, they can. You know, we've always had 2,
Right.
and we said last year that you can have a third. That third needs to be a minor. This year,
Well, the reason I was asking is because say it was just you and I, we would automatically have room for
a third.
A third.
Yeah.
So for a kid, if
That's right.
we so
Or
chose,
if you can con one of the local guides into going with you.
right?
I don't care who's out there fishing as long as we just take them out of the lake.
I just didn't know if there was 3 men, if they could take a kid as a.
I'm not going to stop them from taking a child.
Gotcha.
Okay.
That was.
Yeah.
So if there's a kid out there that somebody knows that wants to go.
That's right.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
We've also, our website had problems last year, so we've had to develop a new one. And the new one is very close to being ready. And what we're trying to do, and we've had, one of the things that we do on the lake is have fishing reports. If I go fishing, I go into the fishing report, I say who I am, where I was fishing, what the water conditions were and the wind conditions, what bait I was using, and if I caught fish. Now, I'm telling people that I want them to also go out, and if they go fishing, if they don't catch any, I want to know that too.
Save me some time on the day I get to go.
That's right. But then somebody else may go fishing in the same spot and catch it using a different lure.
Right.
So now we can see which lures are working. What we're trying to do is to put all the information we can in your hands so that you can go fishing and be successful. And if you're not successful, that's called fishing.
Right. It's just the way it works.
So what we've developed a map, and we talk a lot about where we fish and the locations on this map and the locations. People say, I was fishing in Peter Creek. Well, the question, you can see it on their faces, where's Peter Creek?
I don't know how good everybody out there will be able to see it. From my view, it don't look like it's a good view, but on full screen TV, it might be pretty good.
So what we've done is we've named as many of the locations as we can, like the Big Dyke and Bird Island and Little Goat Island and Goat Island and the South Fork. And I always tell people the person who named the South Fork was directionally impaired because it's on the west end of the lake and it doesn't go south. But it's called the South Fork. So what we've done is in our new website for the members, you're going to be able to go in and query, say, show me the fishing reports from last week. And on the map, all those fishing reports should pop up. So you can go click on each one of the fishing reports and it'll give you all that information, who caught it, what they caught, where they caught it, time of day, lure used, all that information will be there. So now you can use that. Now, the guarantee is if there's a fishing report today that's got a location, you go back there tomorrow, there won't be any fish there.
They have fins and tails for a reason. They swim.
Right. But what I hope to do is to start showing patterns. Mm-hmm. Fish are in this area at this time of the year right now.
Now, is this map on the website going to be interactive?
It is going to be query-based. So you can go in and say, show me all the springtime bass locations.
So say I went in there and typed all my information in, it's going to populate it.
It's going to populate
on that map.
On that map.
How cool.
And it's going to show. So far, we've had 140 fishing reports. And so the new ones, we need a lot more fishing reports. But you should be able to go in and say, I want the spring or winter, fall or summer. I want fish from this location. I want bass. I want walleye. I want crappie. Everything that is, I want cloudy, rainy days fishing reports. Mm-hmm. So it should be able to go in and be that kind of query. That's going to be for members only.
That's fair enough.
We're expensive.
Yeah.
We're $25 a year.
It's
really expensive.
Yeah. Well, when you consider the information that you could potentially be getting and the money and the work that y'all put into it, you need to have something.
That's right. And I keep telling, last month in February, we have about 300 members in the club right now. We had 115 show up for the meeting.
That's insane.
That's a lot.
It is.
And they came from everywhere. They come from Searcy and Cabot and Quitman and Clinton. They come from all over the place for this meeting. And so the person that is speaking sometimes is the draw. Mm-hmm. And so our draw last week was Mr. Black Bass of Arkansas.
How cool.
So, and next month it's going to be Sam Lester, trout guide extraordinaire, but he also guided for everything else on this lake. Like I said, he's guided for 63 years. So he should have lots and lots and lots of information.
More than probably most of our brains can comprehend.
He said his first job on the lake was to go below the dam and feed the fish because they did not have a hatchery at the time. So he'd go down there every day and feed the trout after they were stocked.
And then he'd run down a little ways and catch
go
them.
Fishing. Yeah, he's going to be quite the character. But we meet 10 times a year, January through October. We don't meet in November and December because of the holidays.
Right.
Could be Thanksgiving and and around Christmas time. Plus, it starts to get cold.
Yeah.
I'm a fair weather fisherman.
There's a lot of folks that are that way.
Yeah. I'm a what term do I want to use? I'm a do the same thing over and over again fisherman.
And one day it's going to catch.
Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So that's the reason I joined the club, because I wanted different results. I wanted to figure out. And one of the most interesting things that came out of our last meeting, he was talking about color of lures. We apparently have 3 receptors in our eye for red, yellow, and blue. Fish have 2. So their primary colors are chartreuse, black, blue, and white. So if you have a color that's many, and then also natural colors. But if you have an off-the-wall color, there's a probability that you may not catch anything with that. But you can go to Bass Pro Shop and they're all there.
Mm-hmm. I've caught fish on some pretty wild stuff that makes you go, why?
Yeah. Well, apparently the darker the water, the darker the lure. So you go with the blues or the blacks. Mm-hmm. The clearer the water, go with the fish-colored things, and white and silver. White and silver work a lot of...
Which in our simple minds, that's right backwards.
Yeah, that's
of
right.
What you would think.
That's right. But that's what we're trying to teach everybody and trying to learn how to fish this lake. We're kind of modeled after a group up in Mountain Home, and it's called the Twin Lakes Walleye Club. But we're growing a whole lot faster than they ever did.
Yes.
We probably have 800 people in our database right now. We have over 5,000 that go to our webpage. So there are some interest involved in fishing.
Well, it's been my experience. I mean, I have fished with clubs, and we fished Norfolk, Bull Shoals, Table Rock. And Table Rock's it's pretty busy. But as far as Arkansas lakes, north of Little Rock, this is by far the busiest one. I mean, yeah. I have fished all of them in the heat of summer, and I promise you, those other Norfolk and Bull Shoals just does not have the traffic and such as what we do here.
We have a lot of recreational boaters.
So I would say, so to me, it makes sense that the club here is doing better because there's more people that come to this pond.
Yeah. There are some places that you cannot fish in the summer because they're loaded down with skiers. And this is we use this lake primarily 3 months out of the year for recreation. By making it a better fishing lake, we hope to be able to use it 4 or 5 or even 6 months out of the year. Bring more money to the 5 communities that are on the lake. We've got Clinton and Shirley and Fairfield Bay and Greers Ferry and Heber Springs. Mm-hmm. So
we've actually got a question or two. I just remembered I was supposed to be watching this. Got caught up in the conversation. It may be a question you don't feel comfortable answering. If not, that's fine. This question is, why are most of the walleye I catch between 16 and 19 inches? Because and they're probably pretty thin too. There's not enough bait fish in the lake for the walleye. Because I figure they done the same thing as the black bass and the crappie and everything else. They went through a stunt for several years. More to eat. Yeah. The world record was 28 pounds. Mm-hmm. And so he had plenty to eat. If they don't have a lot to eat, you're going to have a hard time catching a bigger walleye. Right. Sorry, you're welcome to. Next question. Well, that's why I was reading all of them to make sure there wasn't another one in there that I missed. My lovely assistant is busy working on other projects at the moment, so okay, we're caught up. Well, I really would like to people to you can go online and you need to go to our old website, GreersFerryWalleyeClub.org. That's the old website. That's the old website, and you can still sign up there. We haven't had it fully transferred over to the new website. The new website is going to be GreersFerryWalleye.club. Okay.
Okay.
Greers Ferry Walleye.club.
GreersFerryWalleye.club.
I'm going to type those in.
It's https://GreersFerryWalleye.club.
And then the first one was .org.
Yeah, it's GreersFerryWalleyeClub.org. And you can go on there and you can sign up. And again, the week or two before the white bass tournament, I've got some volunteers that are going to go out and try to catch as many white bass as they can from different locations. And we're going to post those locations on our website because we want people to catch the white bass and take them out.
And I can't speak for every species. I have to assume for every species, it is making a difference.
We're hoping to make a difference.
I mean, I can tell you for the black bass, the Kentucky, and the smallmouth, I mean, it's the quality of fish that you're catching now compared to 5 years ago is...
Well, it used to be called the Dead Sea.
Correct.
But it's getting better now, and we want to continue to make it even better.
We moved up here in 06, and the best I can remember back in those days, I wasn't fishing back then, but it seems like 17 to 20 pounds was pretty regular in a bass tournament. And then the last several years, it got to where 10 pounds might do it. And now all of a sudden, we're back to 13, 15.
I did catch a 4-pound smallmouth last year, and those are really, really, really fun to catch.
I believe it.
Now, one of the things that I'd like to say about walleye fishing is if you catch a big female, please put it back because we need all the females that we can to populate. Yeah. So obviously they're good to eat, but if you get a big female, then the females should be significantly larger than the males. Let's just put those guys back. In a couple of years,
it'll be worth it.
Yeah, maybe we can start taking a lot more out of the lake.
Yep.
But the walleye look for 50 to 55 degrees. Right now, the water temperature is probably in the high 40s.
But you remember in 2008 when the lake got so high?
Oh, I do.
I was fishing at that point, and I was over here close to Middle Fork, where you go up Middle Fork, and of course everything was underwater, and there was a snake laying in the top of a bush. I say it was a bush; it was probably a 10-foot tree at that time, with the water as high as it was. But I took a jig and I was trying to hit that snake. Of course, I missed the snake. Jig hit the water, and no sooner than the jig hit the water, it loaded up, and I caught a smallmouth. Probably the first smallmouth I ever caught in my life. Because where I grew up, there wasn't any. And put it on my scale, and I weighed it, and I was like, that can't be right. There was a couple of older gentlemen fishing just up the way from me, so I pulled up beside them and asked them if they had a scale. They had 2 sets. Both of theirs said the same thing mine did. 5 pounds.
Wow.
And I was, and at the time I didn't know. I mean, I didn't realize what I just done.
Yeah.
So of course I just throw it back. I did get a picture of it, but probably should have took some measurements and done some stuff with that one.
Yeah. I love to go fishing. One thing I really dislike doing is cleaning fish.
Well, if
I throw most of mine back.
If I could do it half as good as my Pepaw did, he had that electric flay knife, and for him it was just.
Well, I've got for the group that are going to come last year, there were 4 people from the other side that came and cleaned fish. And after a while, they thought they were done, and they moved something. And there was another bucket of fish, and they all just went, "Oh no!" So I've told them this year we need 8 or 10 people to come, and I'll supply the fillet knives. And I finally went out and bought an electric fillet knife. I'm hoping it'll just zip right through the bones, and we can clean them up in a hurry.
Right.
But I've got a knife sharpener and the fillet knives, and we'll probably bring a lot of Band-Aids too.
That's probably a good idea. Yeah. Any closed? I want to say I heard that Hill Creek's been closed for a while due to the water level.
That's the only one that I know of right now.
Okay.
We desperately need some more rain.
Yes, we do.
And we need a lot of rain.
I think we're caught up.
More questions. I'm ready for the questions. Come on down.
think that caught us up again.
Again, remember that this tournament is March 21st.
March 21st.
It's a Saturday. It's out of Devil's Fork. You don't have to launch from there, but you need to come by and let us check your boat. We will have a person in a boat out there, so you don't have to come in and walk up and do that. We'll have somebody out there to look in your boat and make sure that your live wells are empty. And then you can take off and go and catch as many white bass as you want.
Lines in at 6.
Lines in at 6, lines out at 2.
At 2.
At 2.
And weigh in is at Devil's Fork.
Weigh in is at Devil's Fork.
At 3?
Well, after 2.
Okay, so as soon as you get back to the...
as soon as you get back in.
Okay. That probably makes sense, starting at...
So far, I've only got about 30 door prizes. I just picked up a life jacket from Future Marine for $180.
Doggone.
I had the big Ram dealership over in Heber Springs give me $1,000 worth of oil changes and car details.
Tell you what, oil changes are worth something these days.
Yeah, they are. They're getting expensive. I've got $600 door prizes from Greers Ferry Bait and Tackle. I've got $400 gift prizes from Golden Outdoors over in Heber. So we're not through yet gathering up door prizes. We will continue to do this until they see us coming in the door and lock the door.
But it's 3 members at $75 entry. What are the rules?
Catch white bass.
Catch white bass, as many as you can.
We pay $1,000 for the first prize, $500 for the largest white, and $500 for the largest hybrid. And we pay every 6 1/4 spots. So if I get 100 boats, we'll pay 16 spots. This is a 100% payout tournament. We don't make any money on this tournament. What we do is take the white bass out of the lake and
feed people.
Make it a better fishing lake and feed people and help people through their recovery process.
Well, I mean, there's not a losing side to this one.
There is not. So, but right now we don't have very many people signed up, and we need a lot more. So please go to the website, sign up, come to the meeting. Our next meeting is, I think, the 16th of March. We've had to move it because of conflict at the conference center. But I think if that's a Saturday, it's the 16th of March. Is our next meeting. And visitors are welcome. We'd love for you to join and become part of the club, $25 a year. If you're part of the club, you can look at all the fishing locations, all the fishing reports. You can look at all the sites that the Game and Fish Commission has put in the lake. Those are all there. You can interact with all the other club members and find out what they're doing.
But you don't have to be a member to attend.
You do not have to be a member to attend.
But you will have to be a member to get out.
That's like somebody tripping you out the door. We also have all the videos from all the presentations. If you're a member, you can go back and look at every month's presentations that we've had. And then at every meeting, we have door prizes at the meeting. We also have a 50-50. If the members donate $200, then the winner gets $100, and you get tickets for that.
And this is at the meetings?
At the meeting, we do that every month. We have a guy who builds his own lures. He's there selling the lures every month. I'm trying to get Greers Ferry Bait and Tackle to come up with some stuff. They're just so busy; it's kind of hard to do.
I don't know how. That's a whole nother conversation with Doug.
If you've never been to Greers Ferry Bait and Tackle, you're missing.
I don't know how he finds his way in and out the building.
It has more fishing stuff than Bass Pro Shop.
I guarantee you it does.
And they're and Doug there is really, really knowledgeable. Mm-hmm. If you can ask him, he just bought one of our big maps. The big map is 52 by 105, and he's hanging it on outside by his front door. And he'll go out and say, "This is where you go fishing. Yeah. This is the cove. This is the place."
All right, Doug, you're going to have to keep up with the website and keep that thing updated for people.
Well, yeah. So the fishing reports are how we're going to keep it updated. He's going to keep it updated through word of mouth.
Yeah, I'm just trying to cost him some more work to keep up with your website.
Good people. Good people.
Very.
So we want to promote the lake and the people around the lake. And again, it's used 3 months out of the year for recreation. We want to use it 5 or 6 or 7 months out of the year to get the fishing guys up here.
I won't lie. I am kind of scared for the fishing to get better because then people will be coming in the off season and.
Well, then they'll come up here and they'll say, I want to be here and I want to buy a house.
Well, for that part of it is great. But for the fishing part of it, as fishermen, we're kind of selfish.
No. And typically we're pretty secretive about what we caught and where we caught it. But in the club, we want people to share. Right. We do education, sharing, and partnership.
Right.
And the sharing is the important part. Again, like I said, I'm doing the same thing over and over again. If I find out that there's something else that's really working, I'm going to try it.
Well, some of the best advice I'd ever got whenever I first started fishing this lake is a guy that's been here his whole life and knows this lake like the back of his hand. I'd ran into him one day. I said, I just can't figure out how to do it. And he told me one thing. And when I got home, I tied 2 rods, left everything else at the house. Now, granted, it's been 20 years ago.
Okay.
But Carolina rig and deep. And kid you not, I don't know that I've caught 10 fish on it in the last 10 years. But at that time, 20 years ago, it changed my whole outlook on this lake.
Well, I went out either last year or year before in Hurricane Bay from the main point down to the lake. I caught 14 bass, all on a topwater whopper plopper. And I love that topwater hit.
That is so fun.
You get to see it and you feel it and you just know that, it is fun fishing.
And my experience for me, myself, most of the time I jerk it away from them because I see them and I take it before they actually bite.
Well, here recently, my friend in Hot Springs who always caught all the white bass used a rooster tail. So I threw a little yellow rooster tail, and that's what I caught all my bass on. And the deal is, it was yellow, it was chartreuse. I think that's what made the difference. I went back and threw a white one and didn't get a bite. I threw it a steel shad and didn't get a bite. But that little yellow rooster tail did okay. Next day, nothing. Typical. Yeah. I did spear a shad. So apparently there was a big bait ball off my dog. Now, when I came in last year and I put my boat up, I forgot to plug in the charger.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, So I am down 3 batteries. And I am thinking about going to lithium. They're expensive.
They are expensive.
Some of them have an 11-year warranty. I'm not sure I'm going to live that long. But I'm gonna put lithium in my boat.
You have to change your charger.
I have to buy chargers for it. Buying a dual charger, both 12 and 36 volt, is expensive. So I can buy the charger. I can buy the battery and a charger cheaper than I can buy. So I have to have 2 chargers, one for the 36 volt and one for the 12.
Right.
So a boat, break out another 1,000.
That's it.
So I'm learning that one very well. My wife decided that she wanted to buy a pontoon boat a couple of years ago. So we pulled up at Red River Marine, and there's this Phoenix bass boat sitting there, and I went, oh, crap. I bought it. So now it's sold. It's paid for.
Right, there you go.
The good kind of boat.
Yeah.
But it's I love to drop my boat in the water, and as soon as it's in the water, go fishing. And
we've all got stuck on that live scope thing.
Yeah.
For the last several years. And it's been probably 2 months ago now. A friend of mine that got me started into tournament fishing called me up and he was like, I'm going fishing tomorrow. You want to go? And I was like, absolutely, I do. And so we went, and he's got barely a color graph, no live scope, none of this. We went fishing, and we caught the fire out of them on crankbait. Just fishing spots that we we didn't catch anything with any size to it that day, but we had a ball just fishing.
Yep. Live scope is either a blessing or a curse.
It will definitely frustrates you. It is not the cheat code people think it is.
If you can sometimes spot big bait balls, and like on the video that I've got, you can spot big balls of white bass. I mean, there was probably a couple hundred fish in this ball. So that's where you want to stop and stay if you're going to catch white bass.
Yeah. And if you can chase them around,
this lake has 360 miles of shoreline. It's 40,000 acres. That's 65 square miles of water. It's a lot of water, a lot of places, and fish like to hide from fishermen.
They do indeed. You put the trolling motor in the water, and they're like, "Oh, there they are again."
Well, and one of the crappie guides says that he will turn his trolling motor off when he gets between 35 and 50 feet of the fish because they know you're there.
I have become more of a believer in that the last few years that the ping affects them.
Well, Lowrance has come out with a new version of LiveScope. And so I talked to a guy, and he said they're using the exact same frequency as Garmin. But it's not he said it's not as good as Garmin. It's in his opinion. But Garmin seems to be
that's the cat's meow when it comes to live.
You're right. That's right. So we do have a Garmin rep coming in May.
And I'm not sponsored by anybody, and they don't give me any kickbacks. If they want to throw me a unit, I'll take it.
Well, I'm not either. It's
just the facts are the facts. Garmin is live.
One of the prizes we've got coming from Red River Marine is going to be a fish finder. I don't know. It's probably going to be a 5-inch, but it's going to be a fish finder. So we have lots of different prizes from lots of different people. And again, the hope is that if I have 100 boats, I have 100 door prizes. Mm-hmm. That means I got to get out and start knocking on some more doors. But
I have no doubt that you will do that.
Oh, thank you. I knocked on yours, didn't I?
You and your grandson Tristan may be two of the hardest working people in town.
Well, my grandson is quite the worker.
He is into something all the time.
He's a 911 operator 2 days a week. The other 5 days a week, he's a city treasurer.
And those are just the things that you know about. I mean, he is capable of doing.
He's a worker.
Almost anything. I mean, you can text him with almost any question, and he can probably help you figure it out.
He's a techie too.
Yeah, he is sharp kid.
Yeah,
very.
So we're trying to build a better mousetrap and get as many people to see the mousetrap and not get caught by it. And if you want to get caught by it, you can join for 25 years, $25 a year. We do have a lifetime membership. If you want to donate $200, we'll give you a lifetime membership. So it's a fun group. It's a big meeting. It's very informative, and we love to have it. We've got about 10 people on our board, and we're trying something. We've got a special shirt being made that's bright green with the Greers Ferry logo, Greers Ferry Walleye Club logo board member on the shirt. So if you go to the meeting and you see somebody with a green shirt, you can go ask them a question. You can pull them over and if you have a concern or you want something to be brought up. We're going to try to be very noticeable so the board members don't hide. They're there to help the members become better fishermen.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, if you're not a part of it and you do want to learn about Greers Ferry Lake, I highly suggest becoming a part of it because I know several other folks that are involved in it, and they're some of the sharpest tacks on this pond that I can. Well,
I tell people claim. This was started by a bunch of Yankees because they love to walleye fish, and I tell them that I'm a Yankee too. I am from North Little Rock, Arkansas. My wife had been up here had a house since 2003, and her family actually settled Shirley in the 1850s.
Oh wow!
So we pulled into Greers Ferry, and she stepped out of the car. She said, "I'm home. Now let's find a house." So we moved up here full time in 2015. So we're permanent.
And people that have not had the privilege of being able to do that have no idea how blessed we are.
Yeah. Well, and just to kind of put us on the map, I think we have 4 Dollar Generals within 5 miles. I don't know if that's good or bad, but we have.
It says something.
Yeah, it does say something. We are Dollar General rich.
We are indeed.
So it is a very nice place. They got, a great hardware store and lots of Jansen's restaurant is almost world renowned. It's really one of the finest restaurants, and there's a lot of good places to eat.
I wouldn't say we have everything, but we have everything we need.
No, well, yeah, and then some days you got to go get things fixed.
Yeah,
but that's all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
Or go to the doctor.
That is true.
I tell people that, and I try to deal with life through humor, that I've got prostate cancer, and I've been dealing with it for about 3 years, and I'm on this medicine, keeps me cold all the time, and I get these hot flashes, and I've got a burning desire to go out and buy me some high heels. I call it menopause, because what they're trying to do is drop your testosterone down to 0. Well, I'm cold, I have no energy, but I'm standing vertical.
So you're winning.
I'm winning. I go to Carti. I had 28 rounds of radiation, and I told the nurse after the last one, said, "And I hadn't had that much fun with my pants off in years." So, you got to deal with this stuff through humor. It's the only way. It's the only way.
I like it.
Yeah. So if you're interested in the club, come on down. We're meet at the Fairfield Bay Conference Center, 3rd Monday of every month. There's a couple of problems in this, and it's because the conference center's got some other people there. So you can go to the website and you can see when the next meeting is and who's speaking. And like I said, it's always informative. And we put people in round tables so that they can talk to one another instead of auditorium type seating.
Right.
We want you to meet people and talk to people and learn from education, sharing, and partnership. That's what it's all about.
Well, that's awesome. I know it's because it's only 3 years old. Now.
We're 3 years old.
3 years old, yeah.
3 years old.
It's
350 members.
It's pretty impressive that how it seems to have come together. So that tells you that the interest is there, the need
and
is
if
there.
you have an interest in being on the board, look for a guy in the green shirt.
He's probably looking for somebody to wear that shirt.
Yeah, we need somebody that'll do help with door prizes, and somebody that will help with events coming up. Our next structure build is going to be in October. We just got the grant this week, so we won't be able to put it all together to do it before the recreational people come in. So we won't be able to block off an entire launch facility because we're building structures. So we'll be in October.
This is just an idea, and I may be shooting way off in left field. It may be totally useless. But we've been doing school board members shows the last few weeks. And I may be wrong because we've talked to so many and I've learned so much in the last 3 weeks. But I want to say there's some volunteer situations through the schools that for credits.
Oh, yeah.
That you may I don't know who you would visit with at the school, but
well, we also have an election coming up on March 3rd, and I heard so much about the problems with the election, so I decided to be a poll worker. And I've gone through. This is my 3rd year being a poll worker, and I just went through the training, and the book was 90 pages long.
goodness.
And it's very, very secure. So please go out and vote.
Absolutely.
March 3rd. You can vote now if you want to go to the courthouse in Heber Springs, or you can wait until March 3rd.
So the school may be able to help you out with some volunteers, potentially.
Okay.
Don't hold me to that. I just...
Well, one of the things we also want to do is we want to get some of the fishing teams to come up here and become involved in the club. and the fishing teams are primarily bass, but we will support them in any way we can too, because you get them hooked early. That way they'll pay the $25.
And they are the future of it. So.
They are the future of it. That's right. My term in office, and this is 2 years. So we like to have a turnover and we every time we get a turnover, we get a little new direction. My direction has been primarily habitat restoration, and that's what we're working on. I've even got the Game and Fish Foundation. They have set up they've got a habitat alliance that the Game and Fish Foundation has set up. So you can go to the Game and Fish Commission, go to the Habitat Alliance, and you can choose Greers Ferry Lake. And you can donate money there that goes to the Game and Fish Commission, comes back to us, and we build structures here on the lake. So they handle the money. We handle the bit. We don't handle the money. They handle the building. We handle the building of the structures, and they put them in the lake.
Awesome.
So if you have a 401k that has a minimum required distribution, some people are fortunate enough that their minimum required distribution changes their tax status. You can take that minimum required distribution and donate it to Greers Ferry Habitat Alliance, and it doesn't count as income. And I think you might even get a tax deduction for it too.
Well, there you go.
That could be a benefit to the people who have more income than they really need. I'm not one of those. But I will donate to the Greers Ferry Habitat Alliance too.
Yeah.
Because I just believe in what we're trying to do.
Well, the proof is in the pudding, in my opinion. I mean, it is showing.
Well, last year for $1,000 we built about 135 spider blocks. They're the little 6-inch cement blocks with the drip tubes coming out of it. Now, if we don't have to buy the cement blocks and the cement, we could have probably done another 135, 270. Mm-hmm. We got $2,000, so we should be able to build about 500. I'm talking to the Game and Fish Commission may have some money. They don't get their budget till July. The Game and Fish Foundation may have some money. So if we come up with $6,000 or $8,000, we can put a lot of structure in this lake and make a little bit of difference. Mm-hmm. It's a big lake, 40,000 acres. Going to take a lot of.
But when we had nothing,
that's right.
A little is a lot. I mean, it's not enough, but it's a lot.
If we do this every year, after a while, you'll really see the quality of the fish go up. You see the quality of the fishing go up. You'll have more tournaments here. You might even get a national tournament or two here. So,
I think the trouble with those is you need a lot of money to put in the pot just to get even considered to be drawn out of the pot.
I'm trying to do get Bass Pro Shop to give me a donation, and they require a dissertation, but I'm still going to do it anyway. And I went to Bass Pro in Little Rock yesterday or day before, and they said, got to do it online.
Because I want to say it was like, been a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, a fella I know fishes one of the bigger clubs in the state, and I can't even remember which one it was now, but he wanted to bring their end of the year championship up here, and it's like a 2 or 3 day deal, 4 day, probably a week when you think about it, if they could come practice for 3 days beforehand. But just to even be considered as the lake or the hosting town, I want to say it was like $10,000 just to literally get your name in the hat.
Just to put your name in the hat.
Yes. No guarantee that they're coming. Just to even have a chance.
We would have to have a really big donor to do that.
Yeah.
But,
So we would love to have the big tournaments because typically those big tournaments are in what we consider the off season.
Yes.
So it would be great for our hotels. It would be great for our VRBOs. It'd be great for our restaurants. Everybody would win, in that last few weeks before Thanksgiving. But we'll probably never
Well,
have it.
that's a far off goal, but we can strive for that one too.
Right.
Yeah, it's my wife told me, she said, this is going to be your legacy. I said, no, this is, getting the habitat is going to be your legacy. And I said, it's not my legacy. It's the club's legacy. I can't do this by myself. We need members. We need volunteers. We need donors. I can't do this by myself. I'd love to be able to, but it's a community thing. The fishing community needs to step forward and say, yeah, let's work on this. Let's do this. Yeah. Again, we service 5 communities: Clinton, Shirley, Fairfield Bay, Greers Ferry, and Heber Springs. Heber Springs being the largest community on the lake. But we actually have 2 separate lakes here. Mm-hmm. We have the north side and the south side. The north side's always been a bit of a better fishing lake than the south side. South side is much more recreational based. But there's still a lot of people who fish down there.
There's lots of good fish down there.
Yeah. But it's a beautiful lake.
It is.
I saw a bald eagle out here the other day. So they're here.
There's lots of them here. I mean, there's times you'll go out here several times and won't see one at all. And then all of a sudden you'll go a couple of days and you'll see 2 or 3 a day. And
I saw one come down and try to catch something in the lake, and he missed it. I threw a lure right behind him and caught the fish. He was aiming for me next time.
He was like, you're on my list, bud.
But it is a beautiful place.
Very, very. Well, Mr. Paul, I enjoyed it. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you come by.
Questions, you can go to GreersFerryWalleyeClub.org. Excuse me. You can go to GreersFerryWalleye.club, and you can ask any questions there, and we will answer anything and everything that you got. If you've got some concerns or you'd really like to volunteer, we'll be more than happy to talk to you and answer your questions. So thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Thanks everybody that did show up tonight. Appreciate y'all watching, and don't hesitate to ask questions. Give Mr. Paul a call. Go to the website, and let's get involved. Thanks, everybody.